Hello everyone, so in today's video we are going to cover the topic loops in JavaScript. So loop is just similar to what does it sounds, like some kind of situation where you are just being stuck in some situation and it's a kind of repetition for you. In the same sense, the loops works for the programming language as well. So it is being used for executing some repetitive tasks for multiple times, like more than one times. So with that, let's have a look on one of the basic loops we do have in JavaScript, and that is the for loop. So this is the basic syntax when we use for loop. So firstly, we need to use for over here. Then we need to use the variable type, that is the let var, but we can't use the const over here because in this we would be incrementing the value, and as I've said, we need to do something multiple times. So with const we can't change the value once we have assigned some value to it. So you can go with let or var. And here this is a case of initialization. So like at the starting we are initializing the variable I as 1, then we are checking the condition that is I less than equals to 5, that is 1 less than equals to 5. Yeah, it is. So then after, we won't be going with, on this part. By the meantime, don't have a look on this one. Then after, we would be just executing this part of code, that is the console.log, and we're just printing the table of 3, that is 3 ones equals to 3. So then after, we would be going on this one and we would be incrementing the value of I from 1, it was 1 to 2, and we would be checking the condition again, that is 2 less than equals 5. Yeah, it is. So we can just execute this part of code, and in the same sense we would check this for 3, for 4, for 5. But when we would be checking for the 5, here's a condition like 5 less than equals 5, like 5 is not less than 5 but 5 equals to 5. So this would execute the code, and this part of code would be executed. Then after, it would be going to check the condition once again, and it would incrementing the value to 5 to 6. Then there's a condition that 6 is less than equals to 5. No, it is not. So we would be just getting out of the loop and we won't be getting anything. So it would execute for 5 times, and let's run this code. So see like what we are getting as the output. So yeah, 3 ones equals to 3, and in the same sense we have this for 5 times. But there's a thing I would like to let you know, guys. There's a thing that is a kind of pre-increment and post-increment operator. So like give me a few sec and I will let you know on that. Yeah, so like let's suppose in this we have variable name as I, and it's a kind of pre-increment operator. So like what does pre-increment and post-increment means? So if like we have variable I as 1 and we want to increase the value of I from 1 to 2, like 2 to 3, just a difference of 1. So we are incrementing this by two methods, that is the pre-increment and the post-increment. So in the pre-increment we are just simply this is the syntax that comes with pre-increment, that is we write plus plus I, and in the post-increment we write I plus plus. So there's not much difference in that. In the pre-increment plus plus I, it first uh, like uh, increases the value. Like initially it's being 1, so it would first increase the value from 1 to 2, and then it would use the value and then it would print the value as 2. But in the post increment, now we have the value of I as 2. So when we print this one, firstly it would be just printing the initial value that we do have for I. So it's 2 over here, so it would just simply print 2. Then after, it would increase the value, and then after it becomes 3, but it would print 2 out of it. And then after, we can just console this one and we can get the output as 3. And that's the only difference between pre-increment and post-increment. I would like to summarize this once again. So like in the pre-increment, we are first increasing the value of I and then we are printing it. So initially we have the value of I as 1, we are incrementing it to 2, and we are just printing this one. But in the post increment, we are just first using the value that we do have, that is 2, and we are printing that one. Then we are incrementing the value to 3. Do you got it? So in this we are getting 2 and in this we are getting 3. In the same sense, the pre-decrement and the post-decrements works as well. Like in this we have j is equal to 5. That's one of the variable, and we are doing minus minus j. So in this case it would be decreasing the value first and it would be printing the value. So it was 5 initially, it becomes 4 and it just print. And now in this we are doing again j minus minus, so it would be just simply using this value 4 and this would be printing this. Then after it would decrementing the value. So you can see we are getting output 4 over here and we are getting the output 3 over here because we have like printed this value first, then we have decremented the value from 4 to 3, and that's the only difference between pre-increment, post-increment, or like for the decrement it goes the same. So don't ever get confused with that. Like we can also use the pre-increment over here as well. There's no difference. The only difference it comes when we just simply use that value and we just instantly console that value. I mean, we just instantly print that value. That's the only difference. Apart from that, there is no difference, guys. So don't get confused with that. And you can see, like we need to comment this out. But yeah, the story is you can see we don't have any difference in the output. Let me run that once again. I didn't save this. Yeah, so you can see we are getting the same output. So that's the only story, guys.